You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Scouted. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Scouted news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Scouted.
Well, hello, what's up, everyone, and welcome to the Scouted After Show. We are coming to you cross-country tonight. I am Jackie Miranne, and I am in New York, streaming live, and we have Brittany Brower on the line from Tallahassee, Florida. What's up, girl?
Florida, y'all.
Representing Brittany Brower Models. What's up?
Woo! Hey, guys.
Oh, my
I'm very
God.
excited. I just flew into Tallahassee last night, so went all the way from L.A. to Tally. So I'm very excited to be here tonight via phone.
I love it. I love it. Although I love your beautiful face in that studio, but that's okay. I feel you rocking it in Tallahassee right now. And
I
of
look
course,
really good right now. I got all dressed up for AFTERBUZZ. I have a full outfit on, a dress, hair, makeup. I did it all, even though you can't see me.
Me too, Brittany. We're going to have to tweet it. We'll tweet it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And well, you of course know Brittany from Brittany Brower Models and BrittanyBrower.com. She's the host of Topped Off, her YouTube series, as well as an America's Next Top Model All-Star contestant this season. So quite the expert for tonight's show, as usual. And holding it down, let's not forget, in the LA studios, live on Ustream, if you're watching, Kendra Kabasele, holding it down in the studios. Normally there's a big party in the studios, but it's up to Kendra and our very special guest host tonight, the Bear. The Bear with the bow and the headphones.
Yeah, it's just the two of us.
Great to have you on the show, Bear. So happy you fit us into your busy schedule.
You know what's amazing is we went from Scott Lips, the owner of One Model Management, and in one short week we have the Bear with the bow and the headphones. If you're watching on Ustream, guys, you'll know obviously exactly what I'm talking about. Great-looking Bear. But Kendra, you're looking fabulous tonight.
Thank you.
And we're so happy you're in the studio live.
Thank you. I'm holding it down for all of you.
Is that Bear a diva? Let me just ask you that.
No, he's actually quite humble. He's been pretty quiet.
Okay, yeah, he seems like, go with the flow right now. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. So,
Kendra, I can't believe you got us, Scott Lips, and then even better, the very next week, the Bear. I mean, I got to give you mad props on your skills of bringing us in new talent every week, Kendra. You rock.
It's just my strong.
If you guys are, of course, you can check us out on iTunes. But if you're wondering about the Bear, our special guest host, you're going to have to hop over to Ustream or YouTube. But we're missing some of our fabulous co-hosts, Kristen, Carney, and Gabby Loren. Hopefully will be joining us. If not towards the end of this show, Gabby might make a surprise call straight from the airport, like a real girl on the go. And Kristen will be back with our next episode, hopefully. But ladies, we have the Bear. We have a whole fresh episode to talk about, coming off of our Scott Lips interview last week, which was so exciting. If you didn't see our show last week, be sure to check it out. But what was interesting about last night's episode is how I felt that things really shook up a little bit, because where we were starting to feel a formula, one girl gets chosen, one girl doesn't, things totally made a 360 turn this week, I feel like, from Jillian to the twins, Amy and Kim. lots of different drama to discuss. And I want to start with Jillian, because Jillian was on and off the show in pretty much a heartbeat, which is how, unfortunately, I think her modeling career is going to go, which I don't want to say. But let's talk about Jillian first. She didn't even make it to New York. We all know that. And here's how it went down. Basically, she was approached by Kristen Kotick. She was working on her in California. And the long and short of it is, if you're going to be a model, you have to be committed. You have to be able to travel. That's usually the exciting part of it. She has skinny long legs, pretty porcelain face. She dressed cute. She actually had some cool goals as far as majoring in business, minoring in video production. She seemed like there was a lot to this Jillian, who was 18.
Yeah.
But she had a boyfriend, Tyler, who seemed like he wanted to get rid of her. She had her mom saying, go, go, go to New York when Kristen approached her with the opportunity, and she didn't take it.
I'm sorry. Her boyfriend, Tyler, was hideous. Sorry. I mean, what is wrong with this girl? She's so pretty, so I thought she was gorgeous, like a very natural beauty, really skinny, long legs, long torso. I was so excited to see what they were going to do with this one, because I thought that she had, like, you know, I really wanted to see her transformation, because there was something about her. I was really excited about her. And then I'm watching the show going, okay, she's got a serious boyfriend. Sure. I mean, shocker, you know, what model usually doesn't. So then I see her, and she's like, I'm into this guy. And then the guy comes in, Tyler, OMG. I let the press. This guy is awful. This guy's hideous. I thought, sweetie, you need to go to New York. You need to get over the fear of separation anxiety that you have going on, because it is really, truly a downfall with your character. Like, I don't know. I thought that was so disappointing, and I really was shocked when she decided to not go, to stay. And I thought, you know, I mean, as much as I think that Tyler was a complete dog, at least he was so sweet and supportive. So, I mean, I can see that he's a good guy. But, I mean, babe, like, go out and live your life and try something new. And I loved when they said, you know, I hope she acts quicker sooner than later, because this industry is so short. You know, in a blink, it's over. That, I mean, for her to say when they want to, like, you know, test you in New York City, they want you to go to New York, and you're like, maybe I should stay here and grow more locally. That's usually when an agency sends back a model that's gone to New York. They'll say, I think you need to go back to your home market and, you know, grow more as a model and then come back. For her to see that before she even went to New York, I was like, oh, my God, this girl has zero career ahead of her. Because if she doesn't even want it enough to just try out a test, it wasn't even proof that she was going to make it. She was acting like she already was like the top model, and they already said, we need you in Milan, Paris, you know, South Africa, New York. We need you all of these countries, like, within the next 3 months, and she had to make that decision. Hey, it was just a test shoot. Go to New York and see if it's even an option.
Absolutely, Brittany. I couldn't agree with you more. I have so many different aspects of why I think she did this. Fear, you know, is it commitment? But bottom line, what was surprising is that her mom, normally you're feeling pressure from the people around you, and that's why you don't go, but everybody around her even was pushing her, and she still didn't go. So I wonder why she's even in the industry. And the biggest problem with her is she's not somebody who really, I think, would do well in a secondary market. I think she's too high fashion. She has to do it in New York and Milan and Paris and high fashion markets for her body type, for her look. And that's all about travel. There's some girls who like the mother, Nicole, I believe it was, that didn't get chosen, but, you know, and Scott Lips actually regretted that, he said, possibly after watching the show. But she's somebody who could work in a secondary market. This girl, right, Jillian, does not seem like the type that can work in a secondary market. So big mistake. Kendra, what were your thoughts?
Regardless whether Tyler's, you know, the sweetest guy or what he looks like, I think her biggest challenge is fear, and that's fear, you know, of separation, anxiety, you know, from her boyfriend. But I think one of the bigger fears for her is maybe fear of success. she probably, hears all of these people encouraging her. Oh, you do great in high fashion. Maybe she's not ready for that. She tried to kind of play small, and I don't think that benefited her.
Oh, listen to Miss Dr. Kendra on the line. Get in her head. Get in there. I love it. It's so true, though. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like her mom was so right when she said, you know how many people would kill for this opportunity that they'll never have it. And here she does have it. But, if you don't want it, you don't want it. So next, move on. And it's so, like, we don't have time to sit around in this industry and wait on someone to make up their mind if they even want it. Every model that's actually working in New York and or any big cities that are competitive, it's so competitive, you have to want it. You have to freaking want to kill for it. And it's got to be in your blood. It's got to be there. Like you can't even imagine your life without it being in it. Because if you're not that way, if you're not in like that industry and wanting it so bad, you can taste it, then you're not going to go anywhere with it. I mean, if you don't want it, then, hey, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Well, the other thing is, we don't see things behind the scenes, and I'm not saying that anything's wrong with Tyler, but I'm sure there are many model girls out there who deal with low self-esteem and abusive boyfriends emotionally. And I'm not saying Tyler...
So what you're saying is Tyler beats her?
No, I'm just saying, and I'm not talking about Tyler, just
Kendra,
for the record.
Kendra, do you know something that we don't?
No, Tyler, if you're watching, I am not talking about you. I'm just saying, in general, I think, you never know. She may want to follow her, well, not her. Any woman who's trying to get out there may be hearing negative things behind closed doors. He didn't say much on camera, so who knows really what is going on behind closed doors.
Well, I was just disappointed because I was really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if there's one thing I can guess from the behind the scenes, it's that Tyler, and I think the Bear agrees with me on this, we spoke about it before the show, is that Tyler is definitely not capable of beating even skinny little Jillian.
Right. Oh, and I don't mean...
But I do know I do see what you're saying, Kendra.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about Tyler. He just kind of represents that guy,
Right. Yeah.
I thought he was actually being really supportive, and I think, Jackie, you're right. I think he couldn't wait to get rid of her. And I think he's feeling like a stage 5 clinger. I think that Jillian is a stage 5 clinger, and she's like, no, it's really cool. Like, hey, don't let me hold you back. Go to New York, travel, live your life. Right. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's the door. But she wasn't buying it.
He's like, go ahead, get on out of here. I mean, even the mom, she was like, go. So I'm actually wondering what's with Jillian. They want to get rid of her real bad. But I think, typical mom wanting an opportunity for her daughter, where actually, I don't want to say typical mom because there's mom type A, which she was, and then there's mom type B, which doesn't want to let the daughter go, which would make the situation more understandable. But like you said, Brittany, moral of the story here, especially for our aspiring models listening, you have to want it. You have to be cutthroat because the business is cutthroat. Doesn't mean you have to be a cutthroat person, but as far as taking your opportunities in the business, you have to grab them. You cannot walk away from them. So honestly, to me, she closed the door on a modeling career. No matter what she does from here, you said no to Scott Lips and One Management and national television, coverage and exposure. There's no way you're going to be the next, anybody, Heidi Klum, Dotson, whoever, there's just no chance if you are at 18 saying no thank you. It's just not happening. 18. So
right, she's not getting any younger, and she's like, oh, I think I just want to do more locally. It's like, really? You have New York at your door, knocking on your door, literally New York.
That was the
and
sad
One
part.
Management.
Yeah,
and you're turning it down. Then sweetie, you'll never be ready then. And her mother even said, I just hope she's not doing anything that she's going to look back and regret about the people she met or people, the life she could have had. I'm sorry to say, there will be a part of her one day when she's put on a good 30 pounds, probably popped out 4 kids from, Mr. Zitface, that she will think, crap, what did I do? Like maybe not crap, maybe she'll love her kids because I'm sure they'll be, nice and cute as every kid is when they're little. But
right.
I'm sure one day I'm sure that thought will pass and be like, oh, what would that have been like? Well, I had that opportunity at New York at my door. Hey, New York does not knock often. And when they do, you go answer.
That was the sad thing because Kristen was basically handing it over on a silver platter and she kind of smacked it out of her hands.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I just think that it's disappointing. I really wanted to see what they were going to do with her. I really did. I thought she was the one I was excited to see make the transformation. Mm-hmm. And when she made that call not to go, I was like, are you kidding me?
She should have at least gone to see.
I really thought they were doing a kind of a twist where they just were going to make you think that she doesn't go. But when she actually didn't go, I was like, oh, my God, okay. So, like you said, Brittany, moral of the story, I hope she doesn't regret it. There are many girls who toy with the idea of modeling, who don't live and breathe it, and so she may not regret it. But if there was any part of her that really thought she wanted it, and she was just afraid, I feel really bad that she didn't push herself, because she will. That's when, if it's that scenario, she really just may not mean enough to her, and so she may not regret it in that respect. But if it does,
I just wish she would have gone and done the test. I just wish she would have made a better judgment and gone and did a test shot. That is nothing. That is just that's like putting your pinky toe in a pool to see the temperature. A test shoot's nothing. Just go to New York, see what you think about it. Go breathe in the city, look at it, make your assessment. Then I wish she would have turned them down in front of Scott Lips at the very end if she had different. I wish she would have gone through all of it. Got at least a photo shoot, under her belt, like a really professional one like that, when they do her hair, do her makeup, and, she has all this, these people helping her and a full team behind her, and then assessed, and then thought, maybe this isn't for me, or could I have seen this in my life? I just wish she would have done that one little step instead of just turning the whole thing down completely.
Well, the other thing, I guess, that was interesting was that her major was in business, right?
Yes.
And minor. Minor in video production, and I mean, maybe that's the route she wants to take. So again, it's the Scouts assuming that these girls want to become models,
right? Like I said, to each their own. She may not have that drive in her, and that's exactly what showed through in this situation. And so that that's the way it's going to go for Jillian. But someone who I think did want to really be a model, and that's what I love to see in these girls, because I did say that, where I wonder if some of the girls are scouted, if it really means that much to them, because I think in this business, it has to mean a lot to you, otherwise it's just not going to happen.
Exactly.
And someone who it did mean something to was Amy. And, here we have this whole twin drama. Amy definitely wanted to be a model more than anything. I think the cutest thing is that her grandmother is the one supporting her. Her grandmother Pat, I believe, was hysterical. She sent her pictures in, and just like that, 19, she gets the opportunity to go to New York. Another girl who's a biology major and sister geology major, they say they're identical twins, but here's the funny thing. How are you identical twins?
So not identical.
If Kim is an inch taller and their faces are not even close to identical, so I think that's kind of funny. But here are these two young girls baking peanut butter cookies with Pat in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden, Amy wants to go to New York. She gets the opportunity, but lo and behold, Sister Kim is right in her coattails going with her. And, I have to bring up a story of sisterly competition. I actually have a friend who is with a major agency in New York who went along with her sister to one of those infamous shows that we talk about, conventions, right, Brittany? Right. And she was the one who ended up having a huge modeling career when the sister never developed. The other sister, who didn't want to go and didn't really care, ended up being the huge model. So I know for a fact this does happen. Kim, the so-called twin sister, which I want that test,
right.
Goes, and all of a sudden it becomes a competition. And I felt very badly for Amy, actually, because, that 1 inch, really, she was 5'8", 5'8 1/4", so they say. We don't know what she really was in person, but boy, can that inch make a huge difference. And I thought to myself, look at Amy's drive. Look at her passion for it. She's been shopping and loving clothes since she's young. This is what she wanted, to separate herself from her sister. And here they are, stirring up the pot, the scouting team, putting Kim in the mix, giving her the haircut, letting her play dress up. And, with that 1 inch, I thought to myself, if they take the sister because of that 1 inch, when Amy clearly showed she was made of the right stuff on that camera, I was going to lose it. But what did you guys think of Amy?
I liked Amy more, and I thought her pictures were better. She was way more comfortable. I thought the same thing, Jackie. I was like, oh my God, if they take the other sister, when I truly think that Amy is prettier. I think she had I think maybe because she just worked the camera more and just took better photos.
Yeah, she had that. You saw the passion. You saw the drive. You know, she says model to me. Just because measurements, heights, this, that, the other thing, it goes beyond that. Yes, you have to be made of the right framework, but like we say every week, you have to be made of more than that. A tall, skinny, pretty girl is not necessarily a model just because she's tall, skinny, pretty. You have to have, you know, what makes a business person, what makes a scientist. You have to be made up of the right stuff. Amy was made of the right stuff, and she may have a lot of nose and doors slammed in her face because of that 5'8" measurement, but Amy is someone who I think, because she is so good at it, wants to do it, loves fashion, understands it, she could be successful in some vein in the future. What did you think of Amy versus Kim, Kendra?
I liked Amy, and she's definitely a natural at what she does. The movements, everything was great, but there is something that I did like about Kim. And I don't know, I think it was something that, you know, was shining in her personality, and maybe it's just something that will translate better in television or video or something like that. But there was definitely something I liked about Kim.
Yeah, I didn't dislike Kim at all. I thought she was, you know, looked great too, you know, especially they did her up in the makeup and stuff. I liked her. I just, you know, I just didn't like her as much as I did Amy, because I could just tell that it was something that, you know, Amy, you could tell that Amy watches the models. She's obviously looked at magazines, she's looked at ads, she could move, she felt it, because it's something that she's looked up to and she's tried to, you know, emulate. Whereas, you know, I just don't see that her sister was in that same kind. You know, she's just like, oh, I'm here, why not do it? And you could tell that with her getting in front of the camera, you could tell it wasn't a passion of hers.
Mm-hmm. Well, how did you guys like the shoot that they did at the end? I know I'm kind of going forward, but the wedding shoot they did?
Yeah,
I think it was beautiful when they're photographed together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually, when I worked with my agency in New York, there was a set of twins that were marketed together because it's kind of like a unique calling card, and it actually might get you more jobs that way to be marketed in that respect. The thing is they're not identical twins.
Right.
No, they're not at all.
That catch kind of doesn't work. You know, Pat, you know you can't trust her when she's sitting in a fashion room and says instead of jewelry she'd rather have diesel fuel for her motorhome or whatever she said to Danny Stahl.
Right.
As her granddaughter's walking out in green Chanel. But, you know, they didn't quite have a grasp on what's going on, but gotta love her.
Right.
I thought it was just so cool, actually, to see them all come to New York and really be amazed by the big city, too, because I'm so used to the city and I'm so used to New York. I love seeing people that genuinely get wowed by it, and I love that they walked in flip-flops. I mean, if you walk into a modeling agency in flip-flops in New York, it's like, I mean, you know, it's just, the innocence there was pretty interesting, and I like seeing that, and I think that's what's cool about this show. But I didn't know what to make of Kim's attitude, though, because I feel like they were kind of doing it a little for production value, like, oh, let's get the sister drama going. But did you think Kim wasn't really interested, or that she was interested and was kind of like being a little sneaky about it? I mean, I didn't really know what to make of Kim's intentions.
I think she's interested. She's definitely interested, especially once she got to New York and saw the glam, like she really wanted to be a part of it. You know, once she's really kind of seen this side of it, I don't think it interested her before, though. And so she knows, you know, that it was important to her sister. So I think she's just walking on a fine line of not knowing,
How
you know, do I step in? You know, can I say I want it now too, or is my, you know, it's kind of like we're not all twins, obviously, but we all know how that feels when you have a best friend, and your best friend gets something that, you know, like even a new outfit, and you love it. And you didn't necessarily know that you like the color orange, but you just see how it looks on her, and you love it, and then you want it so bad. And I think that's a little bit what's going on here. She saw her sister getting something kind of really exciting, and it was like, wow, this is fun, even though it hadn't interested her before.
That's funny.
And I think she's just trying to, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's funny because my best friend would say, go on and get one and just make sure we don't wear it on the same day.
Right.
Yeah, but they're obviously twins. They had to share a womb, and they probably don't have a whole lot of, they're always like going for things. They've always been sharing everything their entire life. They showed that they are in the same sports team. They, same school, same teachers, same everything, and they are twins. They literally were born at the same time. So I think that is just like, okay, I think she was trying to be a little bit more respectful of her newfound passion or drive in life, what she wanted to do as a career, but also was kind of wooed by it.
Yeah, no,
right. And I think that also, speaking of the sisterly bond and all of that, I actually also think that the competition and all that. I actually think that as much as Amy might have gone through whatever inside, I think it says something about Amy that she never really got upset. And they were definitely trying to stir the pot. But Amy, at the end of the day, really could have gotten a lot more upset about it. And I think Amy showed good, whatever you want to call it, sportsmanship, so to speak, as far as keeping her head high. And, because a lot of girls could have had a breakdown over this. The sister trying to steal the spotlight. So I think that made me like Amy even more, watching how she kind of held up through the whole thing.
I think that also was because her performance was so high that she kind of had this confidence, like, oh, well, no one's going to take my spot anyways.
Right. Confidence and
also... no one got a spot.
Right, and also with that, actually, she stepped up even more, which shows another great quality about her because it's all about competition. There's a lot of times when you're testing in the beginning, you're testing next to 3 or 4 girls, and it's all about a showdown, So what bigger competition than to have to compete with your sister who looks just like you and is an inch taller?
Exactly.
So she stepped up to the game there, or to the plate, however you want to say it. I don't know my sports jargon.
Oh, sweetie, just stick to your fashion, not sports.
I know. I could talk about a Chanel dress any day of the week, but, So thank gosh I
can't we all? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, she definitely did, and you could just tell that she got in front of that camera. Her movement, she really looked beautiful. And I give her, she'd only been in front of a camera, I think they said twice. There was a second time. You just showed she has confidence to be able to not only, let's not forget, this is not just at a normal shoot. This is for a TV show. There's cameras there. So the fact that she even did that in front of cameras for a television show just shows that little girl's a little tough cookie. I think she's definitely gonna work.
I do too. I really think she will find a space in the industry. I mean, Kendra, you brought up the bridal editorial. I think it looked gorgeous. What do you think of the haircuts? I was surprised they put extensions in Amy's hair because I've never really seen in the industry for girls starting out, I've never seen them really do extensions because people like to, especially hair clients and things like that, want the girls to have natural hair. So I found that really interesting, and then they kind of changed the other sister in the other direction with the darker bob. What did you think of the makeover?
Maybe.
I did not like the bob.
It didn't really work, but I think maybe they were trying to just make a point with, making them so different from each other so that they didn't maybe compete as much. I'm not sure.
Well, I liked her hair when they flicked it back. It looked very sleek, but they could have done that with a bun in the back. I mean, you couldn't really tell in the test that she had short hair because of the way they slicked it. But when it was dried natural, especially at the end when they went and met the agency, went and met Scott, she had this floral awful shirt on, and then her hair cut like that. She looked so podunk to me. Kim did. Oh, I was just like, this sweetie. Oh no. First of all, what shirt do you have on? Because it's awful. And then with that short little bobbed haircut, terrible. I was like, okay. I think they may have actually wanted to take her, and they saw that outfit and hair and said, no, we're going to go ahead and say no to both.
But which in fact they did say no to both, which was the other surprise because everybody walked away with nothing. And I do have to agree with you, Brittany. I think that bob and that horrible outfit made her look plain Jane, and where they thought they were going more dramatic. It backfired. But Scott ended up choosing no one and tweeted with us during the show. We were live tweeting the show last night. I was curious to see how he ended up choosing that, but I guess you can understand. The thing is you see them pull out the measuring stick, you see them pull out the measuring tape. Height is a major factor, and I really think it's so sad. Amy was fantastic in every respect, and it was that 5'8" measure mark that kept her from getting signed.
Yeah, it is. It's disappointing, but that little bit of an inch. And it goes the other direction, too. I'm 6 feet tall. I lost a job because I was 1 inch too tall. So it is all so important, even though it sounds so crazy.
Right. And I think she'll definitely, as we said, I think Amy will find a space, but I just think it'll be a little bit more of a challenge. I think her doing very well on this episode gives her tremendous exposure and a great jumping off point. And I think, I really hope Amy continues to work and finds a space, even if it's in the secondary market. I do think she has model in her.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I do too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're going to have to see if we can get Scott to tweet us his reactions with each choice that he makes. But I thought it was interesting that he didn't end up choosing anyone. And I like that because I don't want it to be much of a formula. And that is the reality. Yeah. For every 1,000 girls that walk into an agency, one girl may get chosen. So I like that they did that because it shows the reality of the business. Not one out of 2 girls gets chosen.
Right, because I want to see one that too when they're not related, like on the normal shows that we've seen so far, where there's 2 separate girls that never see each other. It's just 2 girls and he chooses one. I would like to see one, and hopefully there will be one that he actually chooses both.
Right.
Right.
If he likes both, because I'm just so far I've thought, okay, so you're not choosing this one and you're choosing this one. Okay, the next episode, okay, so you're going to choose this girl and not this girl. And then this one, we do see a little bit of different formula, and he doesn't choose either one of the sisters.
Yeah.
But now I want to see one that if he does like both girls rock it, he will take both. I just hope that it's not like that either-or kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I actually thought he was going to choose both this time, the sisters.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it counts for the sisters. Yeah, but I don't find that it counts when you're twins. Like, it wouldn't have been that shocking to me if you would have chose both. Because they're twins. Like, I don't know, kind of like a package deal, or they could, I don't know. That would have been shocking to me. I want to see them choose both, hopefully, on one where the girls never ever meet, and it's just 2 different storylines going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this episode gave me hope that they're not sticking to a formula, and because it's more of a natural docudrama kind of show, I think that's the right answer. It shouldn't be too much of a formula. So I was happy to see that this week. And, I think we have to stay tuned week to week to see what happens. Although the next week's sort of crop of talent doesn't seem to be too exciting either. So I'm getting a little worried here. But before we get into some news and gossip and predictions, the Bear has been awfully quiet, Kendra. Any last opinions from yourself or the Bear live in the studio, or Brittany from Tallahassee?
I mean, not too many thoughts. I think these 3 girls would be good follow-up shows or follow-up snippets that we can see in the future.
My only follow-up is, and the Bear and I both agree on this, we were talking about it before we actually started the show, that we both agreed that Jillian's an idiot for not taking that one test shoot up in New York, and that we all agreed that she should break up with her boyfriend so she has a chance of having cute kids.
Right. Yeah, and the Bear seems really excited about it if you're watching on Ustream.
He almost just fell out of the chair.
Honestly, yeah, he's almost falling out of his chair. It's amazing. Why don't we take a quick commercial, and we will reveal a little bit more about our special guest co-host, the Bear.
AFTERBUZZ TV. Hi, I was once like you,
a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AFTERBUZZTV.com. AFTERBUZZ TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
All right. Well, time has come, everyone. The Bear, our special guest host. There's actually a little bit more that you need to know about him, and Kendra is going to tell us. Go ahead, Kendra.
Yes. So The Bear, it comes courtesy of one of our fellow AfterBuzz hosts. You may know her, Maria Kanellis. She's on the WWE AfterBuzz show, and she's formerly of the WWE. And it actually is available on feedprojects.com. And apparently what I've been hearing is if you purchase one of these bears or any of the other items on their site, you can feed some hungry children around the world for a year.
See, now, doesn't that make it all that much more interesting?
Yes. So that's
what a good bear.
Yes, that's why we have him here as our co-host today.
I mean, he has been interesting enough without the backstory, but really that takes it over the edge.
He's a real model.
Brittany, are you going to purchase the bear just so you can sit and talk to him at night?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Bear and I already talk on a daily basis anyway, but I want to get one bear personally of my very own.
Well, certainly, guys, you can all get one of your very own. Is it feedprojects.com, Kendra?
Feedprojects.com, yes.
Okay, so that's where you can check out a bear of your very own to take home. But now, let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, well, Kelsey Moody. You know, Kendra, we had asked Scott Lips in our interview last week about follow-up shows, Scouted Part 2. Maybe E took notice because they featured Kelsey Moody on E! News last night, and thanks to a call-out from Jackie Miranne, we all tuned in, and Scott had mentioned she's doing very well, and she was on to say just that. She's doing test shoots constantly. She's actually already working, she said, and not even the lowest level jobs. She said she's doing some great jobs. She showed off her teeny tiny New York model apartment, which even tinier, she shares 3 models. And she showed her brand new fresh portfolio. She said she feels like an official model. So it was a great segment on E! News last night. What did you guys think?
No, which one was Kelsey, though, especially those I haven't seen all of the Scouted?
She was the one with the bomb who kicked her out, and she was the really skinny, kind of dark-haired one.
Wait, was it Bob?
It a little bit longer hair. Her mom kicked her out, and then she came with her to New York, and she had overcome drugs.
The mother one, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
Perfect.
So she's apparently doing very well. She was on Scott's blog, Pop Lips, and now on E! News, showing off her portfolio in her model apartment.
Good for her.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And now her mother will never kick her out again.
Right.
She has a place to stay in New York.
Now that she's doing so good, her mother will always be there for her.
Oh.
Right. But her apartment was about the size of my pinky finger, and the funniest thing is that she shares it with 3 other girls. So that just goes to show when you hear a kind of glamorous lifestyle, it's a little bit of an eye-opener. But also, kind of a side note just for girls to know, I had mentioned this before, that kind of stuff technically usually comes out of your paycheck as well. So just some things to think about. But it was great to see her on E! and see her portfolio, which looks really great and natural, and see that she's working. So that's a great success story for Scouted already.
Yeah.
No, good for her.
And,
That's great. She's actually doing what she needs to be doing.
Exactly. And so good for Kelsey. We'll look for an update and possibly Scouted Part 2 with the follow-up as we wanted, right, Kendra?
Exactly. I'm still rooting for it.
Also, if you want to have your chance to be Scouted, Kendra pointed out a great sweepstakes going on, and you can go on E! Online to check it out. But through January 9th, you can be selected, have your photo featured on E! and possibly win a trip for two to New York City for a fresh makeover and a photo shoot, similar to the way you see on the show. You can have your own Cinderella story, so to speak. So if you want a chance to do that, make sure to join the sweepstakes before January 9th. Go to E! Online to do so. Ladies, do you think we should enter the bear in the sweepstakes?
I think he
Absolutely.
might. I think he might win.
I mean, he's a little short, but I think we could lie about his height.
Yeah, but everything he
And
stands for.
he already had such a great story with all the charity work he does.
That's what
So he's a shoo-in.
Exactly. Everything he represents that, knocks everyone out of the water.
Absolutely. Love it.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, if you are an aspiring model, that's certainly a great stake to check out. And that is all for your news and gossip this week as we head into the holidays, everybody. But let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, if we were hoping for Scott to choose two girls in one episode, it doesn't seem like it will be next week's episode. Yawn on the set. It seems like there's some really boring girl coming up, and family drama, the divorce. This girl Gina seems like she's going to be a disaster. What do you guys make of the upcoming episode?
Well, yeah, it looks like we have boring, and it looks like we also have, kind of another diva. It looks like coming on.
Yeah, it almost looks like she's straight out of Real Housewives or something. I'm curious to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, definitely. The good thing
Kendra,
about
what
the
are your
show is
predictions?
there's so many different storylines every week. It's so fun to watch it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Every week we get someone new that we love or we either hate, and I love that.
Yeah, and they're probably turning up the heat on the drama so that, it'll become progressively more addictive, as if it weren't already, to watch the show.
I know, definitely.
Yeah.
Right, and I like that they're keeping it fresh, keeping new, different backgrounds coming in, different outcomes. Mm-hmm. So
different ages.
Very exciting, and that's the reality of it. It's not like a straight formula. One girl gets it, one girl doesn't. There's all sorts of external factors to count in, and definitely we are in need of some drama on the set. It looks like Gina will be the one to bring it. So that's my prediction for next week. And ladies, do you have any last thoughts before we head out on our special episode featuring the bear?
No last thoughts, but
Yeah, exactly. I guess it's Christmas next week, so that's all I have to say is Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas,
Absolutely.
Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, everything.
Yes.
That's right. Happy holidays to all, and we love some fresh Scouted models coming our way, and we will see you after the holidays. And you can check us out on Twitter, Brittany Brower, Kendra Kabasele, Jackie Miranne, of course, AfterBuzz TV. We'll speak to you on Twitter, and until next week, happy holidays, everyone.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz.
See you later.
expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.